the banking sector is awash with liquidity.
Yeah.
Because central bank injected so much of money into the banking system, nearly about 5% of the GDP. What are the sources of Bangladesh growth? Number one, agriculture. Number two, export. Number three, remittance. It came all on a sudden. It was as if a third world war.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody was prepared for it. But fortunately, I would say our leadership was very courageous. I would say, our Prime Minister has been very, very courageous, and she really opened the economy much earlier than expected, and particularly our garments industries. She said, no, we will not stop it. We will maintain the health protocols, and will keep on producing our goods even if they are not shipped. Initially our remittance suffered, but as you know, at the end of the year the remittance went up. Last year it was $25 billion. The whole world had minus 3.5 growth rate. Bangladesh had more than 4% growth plus.
Oh my God. Hello sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program Banking Serophero.
Thank you so much.
Sir, we are very, very happy to have you here at Nepal. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you also for bringing me here. Nepal is very close to me. I have been here more than few dozens times, so I know this place.
More than few dozen times.
For last 30 years or so I have been regularly coming. But as a central bank governor, I came many times, and even today I was in the Nepal Rashtra Bank to speak on developmental central banking. So I have a very deep relationship with the banking sector here, and also with the people here.
Sir, today we are planning to discuss about the overall economy and especially the banking sector of South Asia. Sir, I'd like to start the program with the COVID related question. What was the impact of COVID-19 in overall economy and especially banking sector of South Asia?
COVID impact is universal. As you know, this has impacted throughout the world. Some people did better, others could not. It came all on a sudden. It was as if a third world war.
Exactly.
Nobody was prepared for it. Bangladesh also had the same problem. First few months, we had to go for this lockdown, and the economy got shut down, and informal sector suffered a lot. But fortunately, I would say our leadership was very courageous. I would say, our Prime Minister has been very, very courageous, and she really opened the economy much earlier than expected, and particularly our garments industries. She said, no, we will not stop it. We will maintain the health protocols, and will keep on producing our goods even if they are not shipped, because when the global economy will open up, then we will be the first one to push our exports. So I thought that was a very smart move. And Bangladesh, Bangladesh was very strong in terms of farm economy. We have been self-sufficient in food production, of vegetables, fish, and most other vegetable products, except few. So for example, dal, we are still deficit, and we take from Nepal also dal. So but on the whole, agriculture played a very, very important role, kept the prices of the food and other stable or lower, and also export sector worked very well. initially our remittance suffered, but as you know, at the end of the year, the remittance went up. Last year it was $25 billion.
Oh my God. What about previous year?
Previous it was about 18 or 16. No, it was 16.
Okay.
So it was a huge jump. This year again is coming down, but even if this year we are expecting 18 to 19 billion dollar at least, or 20 billion dollar
Why
maybe.
this is fluctuation, sir?
The fluctuation because of the COVID again, many of the about few 100,000 of them returned to Bangladesh. They couldn't go back because of the lockdown, and now they are going very gradually when the flights are open. But lot of challenges, the COVID testing, then they need help in terms of survival, the more ticket money and all that. So this needs huge coordination, and also in the sourcing countries in Middle East, they too suffered. So there many of the jobs got lost.
Yeah.
So timing was also difficult. So on the whole, this year remittance is going a bit lower, but is picking up as more people are going. Again, I hope this will come back to normal problem. Even the growth rate of remittance this year is still 23%, not bad. It's coming up. But Bangladesh did better than many other countries, even in the region. Say, for example, Nepal had a minus growth last year, isn't it? India had also -9 growth.
Yes.
The whole world had -3.5 growth, rate. Bangladesh had more than 4% growth plus.
Oh my God.
So that was a very, very interesting thing. And if you look at the per capita nominal GDP growth, Bangladesh last year during the pandemic was the number 1 in Asia, emerging Asia. It was 7.4%. So I thought, and if you take the whole decade from 2011 to this, this was about 9.4% or something like that. So it was Bangladesh was doing very well. And what are the sources of Bangladesh growth? Number 1, agriculture. Number 2, export. Number 3, remittance. So these are the growth areas. You too have remittance as a growth point. Mm-hmm. We too have, but also in addition to this, Bangladesh now is really getting agro processing. A lot of our agricultural products are being processed, and we are exporting. Also our ICT sector, a lot of software, a lot of ICT related products are being produced in Bangladesh, and this is also getting exported. About 6.5 lakhs of freelancers are working in Bangladesh, so they are also bringing in a lot of money and also foreign direct investment, although in the COVID period it has reduced, but the potential is very high. If we can finish our special economic zones, a lot of them, 100 of them we are working on. So if these are completed, this will be growth multiplier, this will be employment multiplier. Next year we are going to open the Padma Bridge. As you all know, this is the bridge which there was a lot of controversy with the World Bank, but we are doing it with our own resources. I happened to be in the process because I was the governor around that time.
Okay.
So there many people said that if the World Bank doesn't give the money, foreign exchange, Bangladesh could not do this particular bridge. But our Prime Minister was very courageous, and she said, no, we'll do it with our own money. Mm-hmm. And I had to, I was complimenting her. I said, please go ahead, we will be all there. And we have been supporting that. The entire bridge is being built on our own resources, and the foreign exchange component coming from the banking system, central bank, complementing that. So this was a this was a demonstration of the strength of the economy of Bangladesh. So that's why Bangladesh did better than many other countries in terms of coping with the pandemic, and this year Bangladesh is poised to grow 7+ this year, and even World Bank said it should be about 6.4%, IMF say 6.5%, ADB says 6.8%, Stand Chart said it's 7.2%. So we also, I personally as an economist, I think it will be much more than 7% this year. So that means there is an inner strength of the economy. More than 60%, about 63% of the growth really originates from the consumption, from our within, and that consumption really originates from the rural sector, from the informal sector, and there is a domestic demand, so much of domestic demand that this fuels the growth. And central bank played a developmental role in improving the payment system, in inclusive finance in terms of mobile financial services, agent banking, internet banking. So during the pandemic, you won't believe, suddenly there was a spot in mobile financial services. Almost everyone now have a mobile bank account, and they can send money anytime they like. So Bangladesh is doing very well on digital financial service. So with that support and the strength of the leadership, our Prime Minister has been there consistently for 3 terms this year. She came in 2009, and her consistency of the policy helped in terms of taking the country forward.
Sir, how can we really link strategically in between the Central Bank of Nepal and in between the Central Bank of Bangladesh in advancing the financial sector of these 2 countries?
We have been already working, both this. When I was a governor, we had many central bank governors programs. Here we had in Pokhara, I remember, and we took a lot of policies in terms of swap of the exchange rate, in terms of learning from each other on innovative central banking. So we can learn from each other. That is one way. Our central bank, Bangladesh Central Bank, has been applauded by pundits like Professor Gerald Epstein of the Massachusetts University to be a role model for developmental central banking, because this central bank has been pushing for agriculture. This central bank has been providing support for the SME, small and medium enterprise, innovate. This Bangladesh Central Bank has been pushing for green finance. This central bank pushing for digital finance. So I thought we can learn a lot of things from these experiences. I'm sure you have similar experiences in Nepal as well, but we are very explicit, in at least in Bangladesh, we have been also supporting microfinance. A lot of wholesale credit comes from the banking sector to the microfinance institutions. Last year alone, it was 20,000 crore taka we gave from the banking sector to the microfinance institute, and they gave this money to nearly about 33 million of the borrowers. So a lot of activities going on, inclusive finance going on in Bangladesh, and I thought that is a area where we can learn from each other. Also, we can learn from the foreign exchange component, in the sense that we have been pushing export supporting monetary policy, in the sense that we have export development program, the EDA fund in Bangladesh. We have green transformation fund. Many of our RMG sectors are getting green with the support from the Bangladesh bank, refinance with the foreign exchange. Can you believe it? We give foreign exchange support to transform the RMG sectors and the leather sectors. So many things we can learn from each other.
Dr. Rahman, at present, Nepalese banking industry is facing liquidity crisis, lack of loanable fund. What can central bank do to ease out this problem, to get rid of this problem?
I really don't know the Nepalese problem, but in Bangladesh we are having the opposite. The country, the banking sector is awash with liquidity. Because central bank injected so much of money into the banking system, nearly about 5% of the GDP. They pushed through refinance, they gave it to the government. In fact, fiscal policy was a minority shareholder in this stimulus package, but again they coordinated pretty well. Even the wages of the garments industries we are given from the central bank at 2% rate of interest through mobile financial services. So we put in lot of liquid into the market, and also we extended the overnight the reverse repo, these are we made 1 year repo rate, and we reduced our SLR, we reduced CRR, so that we put in a lot of money to the banks, so there is a challenge, because if now we want to get back that money immediately, there could be a instability, so we have to be very careful and move very gradually in coming back to the normal, because the pandemic is still not over. So I think the banking system and the central bank has to be a bit more careful and go slowly and gradually. One of the strategic decisions that should be taken by all the central banks, even Nepal or Bangladesh, that whatever money we have created, whatever money we have given to the sector, that money must be spent well. That money should go to the productive sector. This should go to the agriculture, this should go to SMEs, not to some people who will take the money to a unproductive sector, and the money that or make a capital flight. So we have to be very careful. So end use of that credit is a very important thing. In Bangladesh, we have an advantage that we have lot of microfinance institute, we have lot of other foundations, so we can collaborate and take the money to the people. In one of my speeches when I was governor in Washington, I said, developed countries take money with the helicopter, they put money in the car, and I said we take money with bullock carts, so and to the fields. So I think with this policy of taking money with the bullock carts should be continuing, and see where is the money going actually, and if we can handle that, then it should be okay, and I'm sure Nepalese are also doing the same.
Dr. Rahman, what do you think, which is more important in this phase, the role of central bank with its monetary and macroprudential policies, or the role of finance ministry with its fiscal policy?
No, it's not either or, we walk on two legs, not on one leg. So I thought both are important. There needs to be deep coordination between central bank and also the Ministry of Finance, because many of the the subsidy in Bangladesh we have given on rate of interest. Say for example, normally a rate of interest could be about 8%, but then we have told the banks that you give that money at 4%. I as a central bank or we will subsidize you with a 4%, but subsidy is a fiscal issue. So that 4% will have to come from the Ministry of Finance. So the Ministry of Finance may not give it from their pocket, but what they will do, the Ministry of Finance will say, all right, central bank, you are supposed to give me your profit of 100 taka, so if keep away the 40 taka, give me the 60 taka. So that's how we innovated this system, so that the rate of interest for the smaller entrepreneurs have gone down because of these innovations and sharing of the cost by the Ministry of Finance and the central bank. So I thought we need to be more cooperative and and coordinating. Mostly there are tensions between central bank and the Ministry of Finance, but in Bangladesh somehow we managed it. That does not mean that I will not really say that central bank should not have the autonomy. Of course, central bank should have all the operational autonomy, but at the same time they must understand the challenges and the opportunities of the development, and there they should play their role, and the Ministry of Finance should really becoming an honest partner of the central bank.
Okay. Dr. Rahman, can we develop some innovative models in between Bangladesh and Nepal for the sustainability of financial sector?
We have already been working on that area. So BFIN, the BFIN was created in the model of Bangladesh, BIBM. We have a institution, central bank created that institution. But when BFIN wanted to have a private sector, I encouraged it, because initially you remember I came here on the inaugural also. I encouraged them, and I said, why don't you learn from our BIBM? We have this, and they really had lot of courses together. They now are still working together, and about 30 or 40 of them visited Bangladesh. So I thought these are the opportunities to learn from each other. If you have a good model, we will learn, and if we have a good model, you will learn. So that's how we. Say for example, our mobile financial services is the top in the world. The Bcash, which is in the 450 group. So why not? Let's learn from each other. Now in Bangladesh we are going to very soon we are going to start nano loans. When I call nano loans, this will be absolutely digital loans of about 10,000 to 15 or 20,000 taka. A bank, Citibank probably is starting the model. They have already experimented with 45,000 of these nano borrowers. These are small borrowers, say for example selling saris on Facebook, or doing a small shop in the corner. These are the people who have gotten mobile financial service accounts. So that account, because these are all digital, so how much they have bought, how much they have sold, all those data there. So with the artificial intelligence, make use of those data, and these are the people who have electronic KYC. Okay. So once they have created an app, say that I need a credit of 10,000 taka, just push that app button, then they will go into the database. They will examine whether you are a credible person or with the money. In 3 minutes the data, the loan gets approved. On the 4th minute you have the money. So if that, and 45,000 of them have been experimented with a very high level of recovery, not 2-3% NPL, which is very so we are trying to replicate it in a thoroughly, so that millions of these smaller entrepreneurs will benefit. So why not let's replicate the same model here too. So here the data and the big data management will be crucial, and also mobile financial service will be crucial.
Okay. Dr. Rahman, how should be the role of central bank in developing countries like Nepal, Bangladesh in a growth of economy?
It has to be developmental. It must help growth of the economy, but the growth has to be inclusive. Okay. What happened, you can have growth by supporting 10 or 20 corporates. We are not looking for that kind of growth. We are looking for growth at the bottom of the pyramid, so that many more people benefit, many more employments are created. And digital technology has given us that kind of opportunity, as I was just telling. With the utilization of digital technology, you can reach many people. So this has to be a banking for many, not for few. This has to be a good finance, not an ugly finance. This has to be a much more inclusive finance, not an exclusive finance. So I thought developmental banking should be the key word here.
Okay. Dr. Rahman, how can we move jointly Bangladesh and Nepal for attracting FDI, especially in Nepal? Do Nepal should reform something for attracting FDI?
Not only Nepal, all governments must reform. If you really want to attract FDI, first thing you have to have the rules, universal rules. You know, so say for example, the major hurdle is the taxation policies. You know, a foreign investor, if he wants to come to Nepal or to Bangladesh, they must know what will be the tax policy like in 10 years time. Suppose now you are promising that, you know, if you come here, we will give you a tax concession and your tax will be 20%. But in 2 years time, when they have come in and started the business, you suddenly raise it to 40%. That business is gone, they will never come. So that's the consistency of the policy has to be maintained. Secondly, you need infrastructures. You know, if you don't have good roads to take the goods out of the factory to the ports or to the airports or to the seaports, there Bangladesh and Nepal can help. We have a Mongla port which we have opened for you as well, so make best use of it. And to reach Mongla port, if you need a good road, you know, make that. If you need cooperation from our neighbors, take that. And if you really want more to happen, have joint ventures. You know, you may have some you know, agricultural products which we don't have, but then we have, you know, organizations who can process them and make, say, juice, mango juice or other things very fast and sell it to the global world. So why don't you have joint ventures and invite you know, international entrepreneurs to join us? You know, that's how we can take it forward. You know, so it's a you know, it's a South Asian or the sub-regional ball game that we'll have to play together.
Okay. Sir, what do you think about the CBDC, central bank digital currency?
This is still an evolving issue, so we don't have a last word. But all central banks are going digital in terms of, you know, using digital technology. Many banks are already using blockchains. Yeah, but going fully into a digital currency by the central bank will take some time. As a central bank governor, I wanted to have an experimentation, but our central bankers were not ready then. You know, the technology was also not ready. So we'll have to move slowly. What is happening at the moment, a sort of digital currency has already been created. Say for example, when you use the mobile financial service, you use the float. You know, you use not notes. You know, you just pass this amount through your mobile to another mobile. Only the last mile transaction takes place with the money, taka. So the more you use those kind of opportunities, say for in Bangladesh, 17% of the all electricity bills are paid through mobile. So there you say you are using the digital currency. So if you want to go total digital, you know, that will take time, and the Bangladesh bank or the central bank of Nepal, they have to really be more innovative, because how do you understand what will be the money supply like if you go all digital? You know, how do you understand what will be the money supply like? And if you don't know the money supply, how do you formulate your monetary policy? How do you control your inflation? So these are the things that will be challenging issues, but we'll have to work, and we need to experiment more. As I said, some banks have already started using blockchain. So allow them to do more. Sandbox, many of the innovations, every central bank should have an innovation hub. Bangladesh Bank has already created one. I'm sure Nepal will be also creating. So let them, lot of experimentations going on, and the experiment, after doing the experiments, we should be going by learning by doing approach. So whenever we learn something, we'll apply it. If it doesn't work, we'll not apply it. So that's how learning by doing approach is the best approach here too.
Dr. Rahman, as you are one of the successful governor in the world, I'll say world, what do you think, what are the secret behind a successful monetary policy?
I think successful monetary policy really depends on the for whom you are doing the monetary policies. If we are doing the monetary policy for our farmers, for our entrepreneurs, we must understand their demand, what they demand, how easily they want the money, and that sort of, we need to go near to them and understand. In Bangladesh, when we used to do monetary policy, even I think the system is still on, we used to always talk with the stakeholders, with the business groups, with the university teachers, with the former governors, with the other participants into the system. So after talking a lot, then we used to do the monetary policy. You will be surprised to know in Bangladesh monetary policy, we even brought financial inclusion issue, we brought green finance issue, we brought SME finance, we brought gender issue into the monetary policy, so that we really take the money to the ground. So that should be the approach for the monetary policy. The innovative monetary policy should really target, should not have a single target of inflation. It should not have a single target of policy rate. I think the best monetary policy for countries like ours should be multiple targets with multiple instruments for reaching many, not a few.
Okay. Sir, at last, do you have anything to say who are watching this interview?
No, I have all the good wishes for the Nepalese people. They are very, I would say, welcoming people. I have been coming for many decades, and they have always been welcoming. I feel so safe here, and I never felt that I'm out of my home. So I thought we must salute this culture, Nepalese culture, and also I have seen throughout the country there are differentiations, there are class variations, there are people who are in need, big need. I remember when I was a governor, you had a very bad earthquake, and as a central bank governor, I encouraged all my banks to raise a corporate social responsibility fund, and we really bought blankets for our Nepalese brothers and sisters, and we also sent some money, and for which your Prime Minister wrote me a letter personally. So I think we are have a very deep bondage with the Nepalese people, and we really want to have all the best wishes for them.
So thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
हवस् त बङ्गलादेश बैंकका पूर्व गभर्नर डाक्टर अतिउर रहमानज्यूसँगको साक्षात्कार सँगसँगै कार्यक्रम बैंकिङ सेरोफेरोको निर्धारित समय सकिएको छ। पुनः अर्को साता तपाईहरुको र हाम्रो भेटघाट हुने छ। तबसम्मको लागि म मनोज पौड्याल लगायत सम्पूर्ण बैंकिङ सेरोफेरो युनिटलाई बिदा दिनुहोस्। नमस्ते।
बैंकिङ सेरोफेरोका साथमा
नेपाल बैंक लिमिटेड, नेपालको पहिलो बैंक, पाइनियर बैंक विथ कम्प्लिट बैंकिङ सोलुसन।
तपाईको आफ्नै बैंक, राष्ट्रिय वाणिज्य बैंक लिमिटेड, आफ्नो भनेको आफ्नै हुन्छ।
सबैको सुरक्षा एनएलजी को इच्छा, एनएलजी इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी लिमिटेड।
कृषि विकास बैंक, तपाई हाम्रो घर आँगनको बैंक। न्यूनतम शुल्कमा अधिकतम आर्थिक सुरक्षा। लाइफ नेपाल लाइफ इन्सुरेन्स सधैँभरिलाई।
उमेरमा कमाऊ जमाऊ,
बुढेसकालमा मजाले रमाऊ।
सम्पूर्ण बैंक तथा वित्तीय समस्याको समाधान,
बैंकिङ एन्ड फाइनान्सियल सोलुसन प्रणाली।
अर्थ राजनीति सम्बन्धी खास खबरका लागि अर्थराजनीति.com